What's up, everybody? Ben Rasa here for Odd Chopper, talking all things national championship game in college football over at No House Advantage. We've got TCU, we've got Georgia, and we've got props to break down. We're going to build out our card over on NHA. Also going to tell you a way. Get $100 right in that account when you sign up over there. I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's dive in to what we've got going on and talk about this game. So, we know what's going on. It's Georgia and TCU, the defending national champs, Georgia Bulldogs. They got past Ohio State in a true classic back-and-forth game, came down to the wire, missed field goal late for Ohio State. Georgia survives in advance. TCU knocks off Michigan. Crazy scoring game that picks sixes and fumbles and everything in between. We know what we're getting. We've got Heisman-level players all over the field, a defense in Georgia that's incredibly difficult to go against. So where are we going for the picks? The first one up, maybe not the most well-known player out there, but Taye Barber operating in that slot, I think is really primed to have a good game here, over 35 and a half receiving yards. Part of this is the man right below him in Davis didn't have a great game against Michigan, and Taye Barber actually worked ahead of him if you look at routes run, you look at targets, things of that nature, and certainly that could play a factor here. So there should be big opportunities for Taye Barber in this passing game to make plays. Now, we know Quentin Johnston on the outside is a true alpha, and we know that he's going to get ample opportunities. But I was talking with Matt Kajeski, who is as sharp of a college football mind as we have on this channel, and he told me Quentin Johnston only had 2 double-digit target games the entire year, and it just shows that TCU is the type of team. They really can spread it around. There's not going to be a massive target share. And let's be real. I'm not saying that they can't win the game, but they are significant underdogs, 12.5-point underdogs here. Taye Barber and all these pass catchers should be busy, even against Georgia's secondary, operating out of the slot. They're going to have a lot of opportunities for Taye Barber. I'm going to get the card started with over 35 and a half receiving yards in this spot. Now, if you haven't seen this site before, you're saying, okay, this looks pretty cool. What is No House Advantage? This is what we're doing. You've got all these different props, and we're projecting over, under, and we're building out a card, and you get a multiplier for how many you want to do. If you put 3, you get 5x, 4, more, 5. You can get up 21x on this. You can play versus the house. You can play versus other people, all the different sports you see it along the top, soccer, college basketball, NHL, all these things. And if you want to get started, why not get the money? Use the link in the description of this video. It takes 2 minutes to sign up. You sign up, use that promo code STOCHASTIC, a first deposit bonus of up to $100. So you're going to get some money to play with. Every time you join a new site, there's always a learning curve. We know that. We've got the tools to help you out and get you up to speed. And there's a ton of overlay as well. But still, why not get that $100 and turn that into even more money on the bankroll? Let's keep going, though. Taye Barber's on the board. Scrolling down again, certainly you have all the weapons for these teams. Bowers is right there. I'm going to go to another wide receiver, except on the Georgia side here in McConkey. And unfortunately for him, I'm going to go under 37 and a half receiving yards. This is a really weird situation, but one that I think we can really take advantage of. So McConkey is a damn good player, but he got hurt in the SEC championship game. I believe it was a knee sprain. He came out and he tried to play against Ohio State, and he was not effective. He had to be pulled from that game. And it didn't look like he made the injury worse. Again, I'm not a doctor, but it looked like there was just more of a maintenance thing that he might not be able to be full go or play the full allotment of snaps. It's the national championship, though, and that's where I think the value comes in here. Normally, if it was something like this and they were holding him out, well, that doesn't help us. You have to have the guy active and whatnot. I think he's going to give it a go. I just seriously wonder how effective he's going to be and how much they will even give him in terms of opportunities. Bowers is there. We're going to talk about A.D. Mitchell, McIntosh in that backfield, Edwards in that backfield. We will see if they're able to roll out their 2 tight end sets that they want to. Washington was in a boot as well. So Georgia got a little banged up in that first game, in that semifinal game against Ohio State, and even going back to the SEC championship game against LSU. I worry about how effective Ladd is in this spot. Even if he was good to go, I think 37 and a half is a pretty reasonable line, just given the other options that Georgia has. And I think there's real scenarios Georgia runs the ball like 60 times in this game. So there's a lot of reasons I'm going under. If he's not 100%, and I don't believe that he is, under 37 and a half receiving yards in this spot. I've got one more for you. Again, I've already talked about the deposit bonus. If you want more plays from No House Advantage, just in general, hop in our Discord. Again, link in the description. You should always go to the description and at least read what we've got going on. There's so many deals across the industry. Some of them you may read and you say, that's not for me. But even if there's one a month, one a week, whatever, that you say, oh, this is awesome. This is exactly what I was looking for. It's free money. It's opportunities. First week's 100% free for Discord. All of these type of things are available. 2 on the board. Let's go one more, and I'm kind of going correlation here. I just talked about him. A.D. Mitchell over 35.5 receiving yards. Looking at our projections, we have him north of 40 receiving yards in this spot. I already talked about Ladd. I think this is one of the main beneficiaries. A.D. Mitchell is a home run threat, a talented player. He was working ahead of some of the other Georgia receivers. And I think that they're going to continuously pepper him and Bowers with targets and get them more involved in this game. If for some reason they're not able to run the ball, I think they will be able to run just fine. You can see an uptick in targets there. And again, TCU at times plays so fast, it's always going to be a pace-up spot for Georgia. They play very fast. So although I do worry about how big the opportunities can be, 35.5 receiving yards is just simply too low for a guy that could have an elevated role due to injuries with some of the other Georgia pass catchers. And at the same time, just a talented guy. Obviously, TCU has Hodges Tomlinson back there and some other stud players in that secondary. But Georgia has so many weapons. I seriously doubt that they're keying in on A.D. Mitchell amongst everybody else. This is a good player. Again, the target share should be there. Stetson Bennett can get him the ball. And Stetson Bennett's prop is up in the 270 range. So there's a lot of opportunities for him to be throwing the ball. The books expect him to be throwing the ball. And I think that Mitchell will be more than capable of grabbing upwards of 40-plus receiving yards in this spot. Quick recap here before we bounce on out of here. We've got A.D. Mitchell. We've got Ladd. And we've certainly got Taye Barber. Couple overs and one under. You look at that. I'll just click the expand very quickly just to show you what we're working with here. You see it right on the screen. That's a 5x payout if we can hit these 3 receiving props. And that is where I think all the value is in this game. Make sure to stay tuned on this very channel for all things college football national championship. We will have game picks, player props, No House Advantage, and everything in between. If you like what you see, please subscribe, stick around, be part of this community. But for me, for Georgia, and for TCU, thanks again for hopping in. Take advantage of that promo code Stochastic. Go play over at No House Advantage, a cool site, up and coming, and one I know you'll enjoy. Good luck. Enjoy the game, and I'll talk to you guys soon.